These are the 3 things I think Predator Badlands could have done better to be a better Predator film. I'm not a hater of Dan Trachtenberg. I like all 3 of his Predator films. I think Predator Badlands is a good film. I think all 3 of them are a little bit overrated, and I think everybody needs to go back and watch 1987's Predator and see why that is by far the best Predator film ever made, and nothing has come close since. There will be spoilers for Predator Badlands in this video. My first thing I want to talk about is the action in this film. I did not like the action in Predator Badlands for the most part. It felt like it was weightless, tensionless, and just so CGI that at times I felt like I was watching a video game cutscene. When you watch the original Predator and they actually built a physical Predator suit, they're actually shooting in real locations in the jungle and filming their action scenes with practical effects. It looks way better than when you cut to nowadays and our Predator Deck is running across treetops looking like a superhero, jumping and flying, and his character literally, physically looks weightless. This character kind of abandoned the real-world physics of the original Predator film for a more superhero-esque Yautja, and I just personally didn't like that. When it's so CGI, when it's so just like blurry action scenes, it just doesn't feel like it has any weight, doesn't feel like it has any tension. The characters feel like their physics aren't of this world, and I just didn't really care for the action scenes in this film that much. I also felt like they went on too long for how unexciting they were. Now, when you think about the original Predator, it's basically 2 genres. It's an action film and it's also a horror film. That's the second thing I want to talk about, is the horror of this film. I don't think Predator Badlands did a good job being a horror film. I understand it doesn't seem like it was trying to be a horror film, but I personally think Predator is a scary creature, and I think Predator originated in horror. It, with the Xenomorph, with Freddy, with Jason, with Michael Myers, is in many ways an iconic horror character, and I felt like this film detached itself from the horror genre. This Predator is no longer scary. He tells jokes. He's kind of emotional and cries, which, you know, I kind of like seeing another side of this Predator. They really developed the Yautja, and there's a lot of things that Dan Trachtenberg did with the Yautja in this film that I really liked, but I don't like how he stripped away the fear of the Yautja. They were no longer scary in this film. They were, if anything, just like superheroes. Final thing I want to talk about, the third thing that I disliked about this film, and you've heard me mention it a couple times, is this film felt like a superhero film. Our Yautja is making a little team, kind of like the Avengers, with his blue monkey, with his synthetic, with her detachable legs that can beat up anybody. It just felt a little bit too much like a Marvel film. There's a lot of jokes, a lot of quips that characters make, a lot of nonsense like legs running around attacking people. When you look at the original Predator, it feels like a real horror action film with these characters in this jungle being hunted and picked off one by one. This movie felt like it was more in line with the Avengers, but with a Yautja on this planet. A modern day blockbuster rather than being inspired by the great horrors of the past, the great action films of the past. Those are my 3 big issues with Predator Badlands. I like this movie. I am excited to see what Dan Trachtenberg does for the future of Predator. I really like how much he's delved into the mythology and the lore of the Yautja. I would love to see an AVP crossover with Dan Trachtenberg and Fede Alvarez at the helm. There's things that I really love about Dan Trachtenberg's films. I just don't love all of it, and it seems like a thing ever since Disney bought Predator. Just off this film, it seems like they're Disney-fying it a lot. They're really upping the CGI, the comedy, the action scenes, and not really stepping into the slow, dramatic horror that I would like to see more. That's my thoughts. What do you think about Predator Badlands? Do you agree with my 3 big issues with it? Peace.